There I was, scrolling my Twitter feed when suddenly this very cute old PlayStation type game hits my screen. Just watching this little trailer of gameplay, I knew I wanted to look into this game and see how fun it was. Loading up the Steam page, oh wow, it's like a $5 game. After a small download, I was thrust into the world of Lunistice, the fantastic little passion project I'll be covering today. Firstly, this game looks gorgeous. It's been a while since I've played something with intentionally small resolution textures aiming to achieve a certain 90s or early 2000s vibe, and I really like the sentiment. They pulled it off fantastically here, as everything looks as goofy and low res as you'd expect a happy-go-lucky game of this type to look. There are graphics options though to take away the CRT filter on the screen or smooth out all the objects for high res instead of having this pixely effect on the game if that's how you'd like to play it. Aside from just how it looks though, I'm happy to announce this game has fantastic controls. It really plays so beautifully and it's so simple to jump into. You run, you jump, you can double jump, and using the attack you're also equipped with, you can get a little extra distance in the air. Having two ways to reset your fall after committing to a jump makes a lot of the platforming in this game super fun and flowy. Not to mention this is a pretty long distance we can jump across, so my hope for this game is that it would also be fun to play in a speedrunning manner. So, jumping into the game, we have 7 worlds to complete. In World 1, Home, we have a playfully set up collection of platforms and enemies to make it past. There are a lot of spots you can express your creativity in these first 2 levels, and there are shortcuts placed in these levels that are practically begging you to think outside the box. These levels introduce a lot of ideas, and the way they're laid out as well feels so good to jump through. In World 2, Summer, we have a new gimmick introduced where these water bubbles will carry you in a direction before spitting you out with a ton of height. There are also giant water bubbles we'll be making our way into, but they don't do anything to affect your platforming abilities. No floaty jumps, no slowed movement, no swimming, just satisfying set pieces. I really like the Summer world because the area, the music, and the gimmick are all just really to my taste. In World 3, Family, we have a sort of theme park aesthetic going on. The new gimmicks here are the grind rails, launching pads, quick running platforms, and balloons that you're able to bounce off of. I do like that they introduced so much in these 2 levels because we're technically about halfway through the game already. 3 worlds of 7? I'd hope we'd have some more interesting things to worry about than just 1 extra mechanic, so I'm happy. World 4, Comfort, is a little different than the others. Of course, it is the same in the fact that it introduces a new gimmick, but different in the fact that the gimmick is tied to the rhythm of the background music. Throughout the whole world, we have this little tempo timer that tells us how things are going to be moving while we're jumping around, and it works so well for this game, as we've basically been sonicking our way through levels really quickly, and now we need both patience and precision. While the first level sticks to 1 tempo, the second level actually switches up a few times how it counts beats to the music, making this style of platforming very difficult. But you figure it out and you're golden. World 5, Melancholy, is just that for me. I don't really care about these levels that much, and I think it's partly due to the fact that they're largely just grinding levels again. This world does introduce a new gimmick though, and that's this little mushroom switch. These need to be hit in order to activate all the grind rail vines in the world, and if they aren't hit, you fall. A little extra precision and something to pay attention to, but I don't think this one gimmick really needed 2 levels based on it. This world felt a little melancholy to play through for me, coincidentally. World 6 is Wanderlust, and while we don't have Paul Rudd in this game shouting obscenities into a mirror, we do have some pretty interesting platforming segments. The main gimmick of this world is that it's pretty difficult. They make more interesting use of wind cannons and enemy placements here though, and a lot of terrain we have to jump over climbs vertically, so there's not a ton of skippable platforms in these worlds. Regardless, I like these levels a lot. We do have more grinding in the second level here, but it's more spread out and challenging with the fact that you have to manually jump off rails instead of getting launched into your next destination automatically. And then we have World 7. World 7, Infinity, is all about sticking everything we know and love about this game's many gimmicks and mechanics all into 1 level, all at one time. The first level is incredibly fun and has a lot of interesting platforms, as well as cool speedy sections that all feel fantastic when pulled off flawlessly. The second level is more of a run as fast as you can style of stage where, well, you run as fast as you can from the beginning to the end. A lot of grind rails, disappearing platforms, and only the occasional place to catch your breath. Having completed every level in the game though, I wasn't quite satisfied. I went back and collected every little paper crane and collectible letter in a run with no deaths and got S rank on every level, which unlocks the final 3rd level of the Infinity World. This level is unique. All of its colors are gone, with our main character's colors also being shifted. There's an intimidating moon in this stage that we need to hit multiple times in order to spawn the rest of the world ahead of us, and it all stems from the fact that this game's collectibles reward you with a story that is actually quite harrowing and vague. I'm not going to go over all of the story implications, at least in this video, but it's all quite interesting to me. After beating the final level and S-ranking everything in the game, we unlock a golden color for our main character Hannah, as well as unlocking 2 more characters to play through the game with. First we have Tori. This little chicken runs so much faster than Hannah does, with his main caveat being he only has 2 jumps. Not only that, but he has no attack and 1 point of health. Running through a whole Tori level is incredibly fun if you manage to zip through without getting hit. The other character we unlocked though is named Tuki. This character has smaller jumps than both other characters, but her jumps are many, sporting 3 mid-air jumps and a very quick attack that can still float you for a moment. This character has a lot of fun to be found. She also has 2 points of health, but that's much more manageable than just 1 in my opinion. The thing about playing through the game with these characters that got me though was that we needed to progress from the beginning to end individually on each character. All the stages were the same, which made it interesting to move around them at times, but once I got to the end of the game with Tori, I found that he had a final level unique to him in place of the Infinity World called Sparkle Park. This stage is pretty long and it's really fun to sprint through with Tori. It's really nice having one whole level, and a long one at that, which was built specifically for the new character's controls. Knowing this, I had to move onward to see Tuki's final level. Blasting through every stage with the greatest of ease, Tuki's final level was waiting to be played. Dragonbone Desert. This level is gigantic. Instead of maybe, I don't know, 120 paper cranes to find by the end of the level, we have 900. This was really intense to see as my first impression of the stage, but also, where the hell are we? This game has been full of fun floating 3D platforms in a whimsical world above the clouds, so the last thing I expected to see was a fully thought out world with many different paths to explore, and even more that connect them beautifully. This level reminds me of almost a Super Mario 64 or Super Mario Odyssey type level. There are so many ways to go, and they all revolve around this temple piece. In order to activate the elevator that will lead us to the end of the area, we need to reach every one of these glowing beacons that stretch to the sky. It's different, it's neat, and I'm a huge fan of this level. I could go over everything that the level holds, but honestly, it's best played on your own. It's not too hard to find all the baubles hidden around the world, and it's really fun to jump around another level made just for this unlocked character's platforming abilities. So please, by all means, buy Lunistice on Steam. It's like $5, it's fun as hell, and in my next video on the subject, I plan to show you exactly what speedrunning this game might look like, so stay tuned. As for now, my name is Myloe, this was Lunistice, and I'm out.